This is the plaintiff, Shirley Wells. She says she owns a small dog, which looks exactly like the dog from the movie The Wiz. One day, the defendant, with her big brown dog in tow, made a beeline for her little dog and attacked him with a vengeance. Her dog's leg was ripped from its socket. She's got a whole heap of vet bills the defendant refuses to pay for, and she's suing the irresponsible dog owner for the $5,000 she's owed. These are the defendants, Rebecca Nunez and Amparo Rodriguez. Rebecca says the plaintiff had a little 2 or 3-year-old girl walking her dog, and she led him over to her dog. Her dog felt invaded, and he defended himself. She got bitten in the process of separating them. The cops and paramedics came and said the little girl should never have been walking the plaintiff's dog in the first place. Why the plaintiff thinks any of this is her fault is crazy. They're accused of failing to control a crazed dog. The defendants have filed a countersuit for $5,000 for aggravation.
All parties, please raise your right hands. You had it right the first time. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Shirley Wells?
Yes.
And Raquel Wells? That's the baby?
Yeah.
Okay. How old is she?
22 months.
Okay, that's the youngest litigant I've had in my courtroom. Okay, the 22-month-old, let the record reflect that she's sucking on a milk bottle right now. Suing Rebecca Nunez and Amparo Rodriguez. Who's who? Rebecca?
Yes.
And Amparo for $5,000 in vet bills, pain and suffering, sending a dog to New York and to California, et cetera, because according to you, their dog bit your dog. What happened?
Yes. My sister and I, we had planned for me to come up and visit her with our grandchildren. My grandchildren could play with her grandchildren. And we were sitting out near her building, and the children were playing, and little Raquel wanted to hold the leash.
Raquel is whose grandchild?
Mine.
Okay.
Baby Raquel wanted to hold the leash.
Okay.
So I looked at her mother, and she said it's okay because she has done it often. She just holds the leash. She doesn't
She's
walk.
2. How big is the dog?
Little dog. Little dog.
Do you have a picture of the dog?
Yes.
How much does the dog weigh?
18 to 20 pounds.
Yeah, like the same weight as Raquel.
Yeah.
Why are you guys giving a leash to a 2-year-old child?
Well, she was just standing there. She does it.
She was holding. I'm standing.
She does it all the time. Why are you doing it any of those times?
Because she likes to play. Well, she just likes to hold the leash.
The dog is a play dog. He plays with the kids.
He loves
Yeah, but
children.
the dog might pull her arm out of her socket.
He did.
No, he sits down.
She did.
He's very well trained.
What happened?
So she's holding the leash, and we're all sitting there, and the older children were playing, and I saw Miss Nunez approaching. She was almost right near them, and I looked at her because these 2 dogs about
How
to meet.
far is the baby and the dog from you?
Right next to us, on the side near my sister.
So little Raquel is right next to you.
Yes, and I didn't see Miss Nunez until she was upon us already. She didn't give me any warning, so I started getting up, and all of a sudden...
Getting up to do what?
To go get the dog, the leash from her. And all of a sudden, her dog ran over and grabbed him by the mouth.
You're up against the building.
We're near the side of the building.
You are, and that is how far from the sidewalk where she's walking her dog?
I would say 5 feet, yes.
Okay, and then her dog comes off the sidewalk over to where the baby and the dog are, or the 2 dogs do what dogs do and kind of meet in the middle?
They kind of met, yes.
Yeah. And then what?
And her dog grabbed my dog by the mouth and locked in. So I'm like, Miss, get your dog.
What kind of dog is this?
It's a Yorkie.
A Yorkie?
Yeah.
Yorkie?
Yeah, 8-pound dog.
Oh my gosh.
I have a picture, Your Honor. If you want to
and do
see
you have a picture of your dog?
Yes, but it's on the phone.
All right. Oh, for the love of God. It's an 8-pound Yorkie?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Yes.
Dressed as a bumblebee. Oh my goodness. I don't know which dog is smaller.
Mine was.
I'm not even sure. They're both so tiny. It's hard to
Maybe
tell.
15 pounds. You can't hurt her.
So then what
It may not
happens?
be 15.
Well, apparently we have a $5,000 lawsuit, so something happened. So go on.
Her dog grabbed him by the mouth, and now my dog is crying. And I know he's in pain because he's crying. So I said, Miss, get your dog. And suddenly without any warning, she decided to jerk the chain in the air. When she jerked the chain in the air, my dog still attached by the mouth, and Raquel with the leash still just standing there. So I took the leash from her.
Now do we see why Raquel shouldn't have a dog in her hands? Why maybe a dog in her hands in a public area is not a great idea? Because dogs are dogs. They have dog behavior. They're going to be curious about another dog, and you never know what's going to happen. And she's still holding on.
Yeah, but the lady said to me, "This is a mean dog." So I told my sister, Who
said this is a mean dog?
She did.
Did you ever say this is a mean dog?
Yes, she did.
Did you ever say this is a mean dog?
Yes.
No. I'm not asking you.
Okay.
Did you ever say this is a mean dog?
No, what I said to her, Your Honor, was that he reacts when another dog's approaching.
Right.
Because what happened was I was approaching the black and I saw the toddler holding the dog. When she saw me approaching, she let go of the dog. So the dog came running to her dog.
Okay, and how much distance did that dog run?
It was really close because I was really close to them.
Okay, so we're talking about seconds.
So yes.
All right, so the dog, according to you, comes to where you're walking the dog.
And they both started fighting.
Right.
Yes, so I was really scared. I got really nervous. It's the first time that I find myself in that situation. So I separated both dogs. I practically lifted them off the air and separated them. And when I did that...
And where's the little girl while that's happening?
She was standing right there.
Screaming, crying, or just shocked?
No, she was just shocked. She was just standing there.
Okay.
But, Your Honor, you're not going to have a toddler holding a dog. It could have been that the dog could have run to the street.
Exactly, with the toddler holding on to it and thinks, oh, I better not let go because she's got an 18-month-old mentality. Let the record reflect she's still sucking on the milk bottle.
And when I was trying to separate them, nobody came to help me. And that's when my friend's dog beat me. And when he beat me, I felt the impact of the bite, so I dropped him. That's when he went after him again. You know.
Were you bleeding?
Yes, I was bleeding pretty heavy. I didn't even notice, Your Honor, that I was bleeding because I was so nervous and so scared. And then she said, "Oh my gosh, she's bleeding. Let me call the paramedics." Because of course, you know that as soon as you call EMS or the paramedics, the cops are going to come right after that.
Okay.
While they were taking care of me in the ambulance, they went and talked to her. So when they came to get my...
Was there a police report?
I don't know if there was any police report. I never got a copy.
Let the record reflect that she dropped the milk bottle.
The plaintiff's dog got viciously attacked by the defendants, but here's the twist. At the time of the attack, the plaintiff had a 22-month-old kid holding the leash. Let's listen.
Dogs fight, you know, and her dog felt invaded because the other one came running towards him. And when I looked down, they were fighting, and I tried to separate them the first time. And the second time, I'm beaten, and I'm still separating both dogs. None of them came to my rescue to help me separate them.
How come nobody else is trying to separate the dogs?
She picked up her dog. Her dog bit her and jumped back down. They weren't together.
They weren't together
and then locked into her dog
I had the leash by then. And I went and sat back down with my dog, and he went underneath my seat because he's in pain still. So I'm sitting there on the chair with my dog with the leash, and he attacks him a second time.
Well, the dog is being a dog. I mean, that's the problem. Now, when the dog bites you, the dog jumps out of your arms,
Yes.
and you don't have the dog by the leash anymore because you've just been wounded.
Of course.
And then your dog goes over to where she's sitting.
And the lady that was sitting on the chair, Your Honor, was her.
When the dog's under your chair, why aren't you guys trying to help?
The dog was under my chair, which I'm his master.
Well, just answer my question. Why aren't you guys trying to separate the dog?
We are, but I'm not going to touch her dog. I'm like, at this
so
point,
you are by doing what, like this?
I'm like, get your dog, because it's the second time he's coming. My feet go up in the air, and she's underneath me. I can't even touch the ground because she went up underneath them to try and get it. And I'm saying, Miss, get your dog, because mine is not a fighter.
All right, let me just try to understand your lawsuit and your amounts, okay? Do you have the vet bill?
Yes.
May I see it?
Thank you.
This just says previous balance 100, balance due 100.
160. I left $60 deposit.
You are suing for $5 grand. Show me how you're entitled to $5 grand from this event.
That's all the bills, the hospital bills.
This was for the little girl. She ended up with when she pulled the dog up, her elbow went out of socket and they had to put it back.
Her elbow went out of her socket?
Yes.
Do you see why it's a bad idea to have a 2-year-old hold a leash?
To me,
The dog didn't do it, Miss.
She did.
Miss Nunez
Yeah, because she's trying along to separate two dogs because you two won't move.
I'm not going to touch her dog. We did.
That's just fine. Is there an adult behind that table who understands how dangerous it is to put a little 18-month-old girl with a dog in her hands in a public place where there's other dogs passing by? Do you not get how wrong that was?
Sure.
No, because every time I tell you, you just keep saying, well, no, that's never happened. Oh, she does it all the time. Like you've learned nothing.
No, it never happened.
What happened this time, didn't it? I'm only more mad at you when I find out that she had to go to the hospital for this.
Oh, yeah, she had. We didn't know
That's
she was
awful.
hurt.
Is this it? You don't have any other bills but the $100 bill?
She didn't bring her bill.
Okay,
No,
well,
I did bring
today's
the
a
bill.
good day to bring them because today's the day I'm going to make a ruling on the case that you brought to me.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, 22-month-old holding a leash. Is that complying with the leash law?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Why?
22 months? No, I don't think so.
Because?
Because she's an infant. She or he's an infant. You can't do that. That's against.
What do you think? Why not?
I don't know what the leash law is, but I don't think that any 22-month-old should be in control of a dog, period.
Are they in control at all, really?
No, a 22-month-old is not in control of a dog, and a 22-month-old should not be around when a dog is being attacked.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
You say it's 160, you can't prove it because you don't have anything that
It
says that.
says 60 and 100 left.
No, it doesn't. I'm going to hand back to you what I had. You're also suing for $25 for parking at the vet. Can you prove that you paid $25 to park at the vet?
It only says balance.
Hello?
Oh, gosh, this is not the one.
I need an answer. Can you prove that you paid $25 for parking at the vet?
She's talking to you.
I know she is.
Okay.
No, she can't. She doesn't have
Your Honor, I was
Do you have any proof that you paid $25?
No.
Yes or no?
I had a receipt.
Do you have, but you don't have that either now. Do you have proof that you spent $10 on gas?
I had a receipt. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
didn't
Do you
bring
have
it.
proof that it's going to cost $215 for follow-up visits for the dog?
Well, emergency at
Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you have proof for the figure that you're suing for?
Oh, gosh.
Okay. Do you have proof amount to send the dog to California?
They said my dog would have arthritis in that leg. And I felt the winter's coming with the snow.
So you want them to pay to send the dog to California?
No, I paid to send them. I sent them on the plane. I sent them.
Who'd you send the dog to? She's so bored. Let the record reflect that the plaintiff is so bored she has fallen dead asleep while we're talking. All right. Who did you send the dog to in California?
To my youngest daughter.
Oh, this is hysterical. Okay, so then you want $490 to send the dog back to New York.
No, the rest was for...
And then $4,000 for pain and suffering.
No, the 4,000 is the baby.
Okay, and
They
now
amended
you
it
have a
together.
counterclaim for $5,000 for aggravation?
Your Honor.
For what?
I ended up in emergency room and I was on antibiotics for a whole week and I lost a whole day of work. But they claiming that happened to the little girl. If her arm was off the socket, the little girl would have been in so much pain. I mean, you know, she wasn't even crying, Your Honor, because I was there.
All right, folks, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why this happened. It's very simple. Why this happened is because somebody thought it would be a good idea to put the dog in the hands of an 18-month-old child, and that was nuts. It is the same as having an unleashed dog when you do that. And the law is that you have to be in control of the dog. So no, I am not going to hold them responsible for even the 100 that you're able to prove, much less the 5,000 that you're asking to ching, let the cash register ring for you here. Verdicts for the defendant.
Thank you. Thank you.
Counterclaim. What is a counterclaim? Forget it, right? Forget it. Forget it. Zero on the counterclaim.
All right, so there's nothing on either side here. Some bad judgment on the plaintiff's side. You get nothing. What's your feeling on coming out of here this way?
Well, the child was never walking him. She was playing
She was
with him.
standing there
holding
the leash
him.
by us.
Are we going to let the child hold on to the dog anymore, or what are you going to do?
Well, no, we don't. She plays with the dog. Plays with the dog all the time.
All right. See you later. The youngest litigant ever at the People's Court. All right. Good job. All right. Head right there. Down this way. She did the best job of you all. All right. Come on in here. You satisfied how this comes out?
Of course.
Here, step up a little bit. And
Sure.
what happened here? Are you,
They claiming, they accusing me that because of the dog, that little girl that's really a surprise. Her
There
arm
were
was
a couple
up
of
there.
lies there, so it was
You
not
know,
fine. It was not right.
Two little dogs fighting. I mean, how hard are you going to pull the leash that your arm is going to fall off?
How's your injury?
Oh, it's fine. It's just I have to. It's so much better
there's
now.
a scar there. There's a
yeah,
little
it's
scar there.
permanent, but it's okay.
You did your best, right?
I did.
Harvey? Pretty simple. The leash law says that the person holding the leash has to have control of the animal, and a 22-month-old doesn't have that ability. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.